friends, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be continuing on in my collection series, and we're going to be talking about my drugstore concealers and color correctors. So without further ado, let's dive right in. The first one I want to mention is actually empty. There is a little product left in here, but I find it to be impossible to get it out. So this is the Milani Retouch and Erase. I'm sure I could cut this and continue to get product out. The one flaw with this product is this packaging. When you get down to this place, it, like I said, is merely impossible to get the product out, but the product inside is amazing. I think this is great for brightening. I also like that it's hydrating under the eyes. It doesn't seem to dry me out or look crepey. This is really impressive for the price point, and I know I'm out, but I will definitely repurchase this, you guys. I've really enjoyed this. I need to get through a few more concealers that I have on the drugstore level before I buy this again, but I will definitely repurchase this. I highly recommend it. I picked up the shade 01 Fair, and I love it. I really, really love this concealer. The next one I have is from Catrice. This is the Liquid Camouflage Concealer, and I just picked this up, so I can't really give you my opinion on it just yet. I hear really good things about it. It's very affordable. I want to say this was like $3.99. Says it's waterproof, so I'll definitely have to test that out over these hot summer months here in Florida, but the only thing I noticed was the shade selection is very, very minimal. That's the only thing that I can tell you out of the gate. I am excited to put it to the test because, like I said, I've heard really great things about it. But yeah, the Catrice Liquid Camouflage. The next one I have is from Makeup Revolution. This is the Conceal and Define. I picked mine up in the shade C4. The shade range on this is brilliant. Like, there are multiple shades to choose from, and I think that's really, really awesome. The only issue is you don't really get a whole lot of product in here. Now, I have used this enough times to know that I do like this concealer. I would repurchase it. It was, I think, $6.99, and I did pick it up at Ulta. I don't think this is necessarily a dupe for the Shape Tape. That's what people have been saying. But it is full coverage. Like, I do get full coverage out of this, and it is a nice creamy formula. Really nothing to complain about so far. I've been enjoying using it, and you know, when I use it up, I would consider repurchasing it. So yeah, I think it's great. The next one I have is the LA Girl Pro Conceal Concealer. Now, this one here, you guys, I'm not crazy about. This is a little bit difficult for me to get through. I feel like this is sort of sticky. It's really the consistency that I'm not crazy about, and I don't find it to be as full coverage as I thought it was going to be, I guess. I also hate this applicator. I'm not a huge fan of the brush tip. It's like you can't control how much product comes out. So this is probably not one I would repurchase, even though it's affordable. I just feel like there's better options at the drugstore. So that's kind of how I feel about that one. I have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer, and this one I love. This kind of reminds me of the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I do believe that they have expanded the shade range, which is also really nice. I think originally they only had 3 shades to choose from. This is a little bit dark for me. I would definitely consider repurchasing it, but when I repurchase, I would like to look into a lighter shade because I do have to mix this currently. But yeah, from what I've used of it so far, you guys, I really do enjoy it. I think if you have mature skin or if you have extremely dry skin, this would be one to go for because I do feel like it leaves sort of a radiant finish. There's something about it. It is very creamy, and it just, yeah, it's not sticky at all, yet it has a little bit of a, kind of like a, it's hard to see, sorry about that swatch from earlier, but yeah, it's got nice coverage. It's not the most full coverage I've ever used, but I just feel like it's comfortable. Like, it's a comfortable concealer, if that makes sense. And I would definitely pick this up. I think it's like $3.99. The next one I have is from Maybelline, and this is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. This is one of my holy grails, you guys. This is my third one that I have purchased. I personally don't mind this little sponge applicator. I know some people absolutely hate it, but for me, I think it makes it really easy to apply. It's almost like it blends at the same time. Of course, I still do have to further blend this out, but I think it does a great job. I think it is very brightening. I think it is decent for coverage. It's not the most full coverage concealer I've ever used, but it is very brightening. So I love it. I would definitely repurchase. I already have, and I have the shade Fair. The next one I have is the Maybelline Fit Me. I just recently mentioned this in a favorites video, so that should tell you how I feel about it. This is the third one I believe I've gone through. Could be more than that. I've gone through several of these though, and I love it. The only downfall is, you know, I don't feel like you get a whole lot of product in here. I feel like the doe foot applicator is a little bit tiny. It could be a little bigger, but those are just nitpicky things. Overall, the consistency it's incredible. It's so creamy. It's so easy to work with and blend out. It lasts beautifully throughout the day, and it does a pretty good job at covering what I need to cover. So yeah, I would definitely repurchase this one for sure, hands down. I already have, and I have the shade Fair. And then the last one I have from the drugstore is the Ulta Beauty Full Coverage Concealer. I picked up mine in the shade Light Cool. I love the shade range on this concealer. This is a bit spendy in my opinion, coming in at 10 bucks. I feel like it should be more around the $6 price point. But I will say I've been enjoying this concealer. It's a recent purchase for me. I can't give you a full on you know, like review because I don't feel like I've used it enough, but from what I've used so far, I have enjoyed this, you guys. It is pretty full coverage. Says it's waterproof. Again, I can't attest to that at this point, but I did pick up Light Cool. I love the shade selection. I think it's a great little concealer, and I am excited to use more of it. So that is my drugstore concealer collection, and then we're gonna get into some color correctors. So I have these two color correctors from NYX, and this is the HD concealer. This one is the lavender one, and this is the yellow one. I am currently trying to pan the yellow one, and after I pan that, I will try to work on this lavender one. I'm not crazy about this formula, you guys. I think it's very sheer. I don't really think it provides much for coverage. You don't get an excessive amount of product in here. It is pretty affordable, but this is definitely one that I would not repurchase. I have also used the actual concealer version of this, and in the beginning, when I really first started getting into makeup, this was one of the first concealers that I really got into. I did purchase it a couple times, and then I started, you know, trying other things, and then I realized that it's really not great. So I can't wait to be done with these, and I don't know. They're not great, you guys. Save your coins. There's other better options out there in that same price range. The other two I have are both from Maybelline, and these are the Instant Age Rewinds. This one is in the Neutralizer shade, and this is in the Illuminating shade. These I love. Now these to me are 1,000 times better than these. The brightener, I mean essentially lavender is for brightening, and I really feel like this pink shade does wonders for brightening, and then this neutralizer shade does wonders for, you know, hiding those dark circles. I think this is an incredible formula from Maybelline, and I just think in terms of concealers, Maybelline just does it. They just do it right. And yeah, I love the applicator. I love everything about it. I love the price of these. I think it is fairly priced. I want to say these are around $8.99. And yeah, I enjoy them. I think this is the second neutralizer and the first brightener, and I haven't used a whole lot of it because I have so many other options, but I do love these. And then the last one, or I have two actually. The first one is the LA Girl. This is the yellow shade. It says just light yellow corrector. Again, similar to the concealer, I'm just not crazy about the formula. I think these are sticky, and just not something I'll repurchase. It's going to be kind of like getting through this next one. I mean, I'll use it for the sake of using it and getting my money's worth out of it, but definitely not one I would repurchase. And then finally, I have the NYX Dark Circle Concealer. You guys, this is hard to get through. This is an emollient, very emollient concealer. I find that it's best applied with your fingertip because your skin sort of warms up the product a little bit, which makes it easier to blend out. I do think it's good for brightening, but this also, it just doesn't work. It just creases on me. It looks heavy under the eyes. It sort of does weird things throughout the day where it doesn't necessarily separate, but it creases, like it just does weird things. I am having a hard time finding a purpose for this. I was using it to like for a eye primer, but I felt like if it's gonna crease under my eyes, it's gonna crease on my lids, and it did. So if you guys have any tips on how to like get through this, please, I'd be interested to know your thoughts. But yeah, not one I would repurchase, not my favorite. So that's it, you guys. That's my drugstore concealer collection. I hope you found this helpful. If you did and you want to continue on with this collection series, like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so I can see you here next time. That would be wonderful. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day. Bye.